Happy Tuesday, everybody. Good afternoon. Starting off a little early. I know it's probably different times in y'all area, but what's up? It's Speedshoc Roman back with another video for you guys, but this time this is something a little bit more different. I want you guys to get an intake about what I am. Am I only a racer? Do I play other games? Do I do other stuff? Yes, I do. We'll get right into that as soon. We'll get right into that as soon as we just settle in for a little bit because I just started. So I'm gonna let people know on Instagram because I do love my people. Let them know that I'm live on the tube. Send this over. Also, how's y'all afternoon going, by the way? Did y'all wake up on a good note, or did y'all wake up on the wrong side of the bed? If you woke up on the wrong side of the bed, then it's okay. I could find a way to resolve that issue, help you resolve the conflict. And yeah. Oh, looks like he's out of the champion. I wonder who fault is that? Even though he never showed up to practice. And I literally told him show up to practice and he never showed. So I guess that's on him. I really wanted to win. But I guess we won't be. Shared it. Okay guys, give me 1 second. So and done. Alright. Also don't forget to slap the like button, subscribe, comment down, and alright, let's go. So what was my original name? My original name was Spongy. That was originally, one of my family members' name. that was originally one of my family members' name. That was like literally the first name that I started out, like playing on here, stuff like that. What car do I want to drive while we're chatting? Do I even want to do Dragon Trail? Yeah, actually, yeah. Let's go to Dragon Trail. Cause I want to drive a Group 3. I'm gonna drive. You know what? AMG. I know what you guys are thinking. No, I'm not doing the Lewis Hamilton challenge. That Mercedes is too stiff, and that thing can't even corner. Like that thing cannot corner. It's kind of sad. But yeah, my original name was Spongy1, but then I changed it when the name change became a thing. But I changed my name numerous times. I didn't know what name I'm gonna be real with you guys. I didn't know what name to keep. Yeah, we're gonna keep it upgraded, but I know balance of performance is a thing, so. But yeah, let's go. I didn't know what name to keep. First it was Spongy1, then I went from that to Powerful 238 Depth, Powerful 238 Demon, and then it was the phase name. Phase Roman. That was like, let me see. First it was Spongy 1, 2, 3, 4. I changed my name about 5 times, but I'm keeping this one. Because Speedshoc is the team that I really want to, represent more. that corner just a little too wide there. Is there other things that I do outside of life than just, you know, video games and stuff? Why, yes it is. I do basketball. I like to help out my family. I like to help out others. I like doing photography as well. There's a lot of stuff I do outside of life that you guys would be very surprised about. But it's not just my life that impacts me. Oh, there goes my ghost now. Got a little bit overshot. Oh jeez. Got a little bit on the curb. Oh, we pretty much just did the move that one of the AI Sophie did. At least I think we did. I know that was just 2 laps. That wasn't my best performance. But I'm gonna show y'all other replays and we'll be able to, cause the volume is also a little too loud, so I can't really like drive and talk loud at the same time. I don't really like doing that. Let's see. What replays do we check? You know what? I'm gonna give you guys, let's see. Oh yeah, let's do the one with the La Ferrari. So outside of life, basketball, helping out others, you know, visiting family members more, and you know, stuff like that. 19 years old, a lot of things. Life is kind of short, but you know, we all gotta live the best out of it and do the best we can, you know. And this is one of the races, as you can see, with the Speedshoc people that are a part of. Well, Nitro's not a part of the team; he's a part of XCO. They wanted to challenge in N1000, so I was like, okay, I'll give it to him. I kind of had a bad start there, but I was still pulling either way. So, what made you want to join Speedshoc? I know I was mostly by myself. Like, literally, I was mostly by myself on PlayStation before the whole like, you know, 14, 15 crew on GTA and stuff like that. I used to be a part of this one group called Team Underground, which was basically Razor's crew, but I wasn't really feeling it. And plus, I needed more competition. Like, I needed more competition. Like, towards racing and, you know, helping out others to get on the same level and skill pace as me. I ain't really like see that when I was in Team Underground or when I was in 14, 15 at the time, you know? 14, 15 was a good crew. It really was. But we weren't really, it wasn't always about racing though. It would always come down to always GTA, always COD, or even Fortnite too. It was always about, you know, being a crew, being there for each other, leadership, sportsmanship, being there for your brothers, of course, and your sisters as well. I was always there supporting everybody, even when we had a crew page, but it wasn't really much to it. It was just like, damn. And plus, I put a lot of effort, like, I'm not even gonna lie to y'all, I put a lot of effort into the crew when I was in it at the time, but it wasn't really as much as you would expect it to be. After a while, like, yeah, after a while, I guess everybody just, I wouldn't say, like, technically split up, but certain people went their separate ways, certain people just wanted to be by themselves, just to find their own true path alone. It was just like, what else could we do? So after that, and then with Team Underground, I just left, like, out of the blue. Like, it wasn't really much to it, and plus, certain stuff wasn't really taken seriously. It's not like how most teams are, like, you gotta show willingness, you gotta show why you want to be a part of this team, and what can you bring to the table that you could surprise us with, you know? It was basically like that. That's how it was with Team Underground. Not everybody was serious, and plus, it was always laugh at this joke or laugh at that joke. Okay, certain jokes, I'll admit, they were funny, but some of them got a little out of hand, and some people were offended. But that's how it is when it comes to jokes or sending memes in group chats and stuff like that. That's how it always been. That's how it always been for like eternity. Other teams that I'm a part of now. Well, I'm a part of Speedshoc still, but I'm not leaving because here's the thing with Speedshoc, right? When I got into this team, this is the team that I wanted to be with. Even not just racing, but racing overall. When it comes to Gran Turismo Sport, when it came to the Crew 2, even when it came to Need for Speed, but not Heat because Heat is deader than dog water. When it came to Hot Pursuit, even when it came to Payback, 2015, you name it, and Rivals. It's not just racing. We do shooters too, but Speedshoc is mainly about racing and, you know, gathering new drivers and seeing what they could bring. That's mainly what it was. That's mainly what it was mainly about, and it still is. And the reason why I'm keeping my Speedshoc status, because I'm loyal to my team. I wouldn't switch up on that one team. And plus, I already have my jersey with my number 24, which I ordered a long time ago. I just gotta get the hoodie and everything, and I'll be Speedshoc complete with all the clothes. But what we need to work on is making a shoe. Making a shoe. I guess maybe making a book bag for like when people go back to school. Because I know, I think we are working on like certain occasions for like Breast Cancer Awareness Month, or maybe we'll have jerseys for Christmas too, who knows. There's gonna be a lot more down the line, but if you guys are new drivers out, but I wouldn't say new drivers, but if you guys are drivers with a lot of really great experience out there, come join the team. We even have an Instagram page, but I'm gonna continue to shout it out every once in a while though. We are currently at exactly, let me have a look. I'll have a look for you guys so you guys will know. You're exactly at 148 followers. And you guys will see I have a couple of my posts up there too. Even my livery for the Corvette, which was made on 2015. The Speedshoc reputation never dies down. So don't think just because we have ran across people that try to talk smack about us. But we don't let that happen. I remember, let me see. I remember the first encounter we had. I think it was back on the crew too. When this one team tried to call us out in live battles when we was doing street racing. Mind you, I wasn't really trying the first time. I was winning, yeah, but I wasn't really like, putting much effort. I wasn't really trying as much. So anyway, we wasn't really trying. It wasn't really all that, but I guess people took it personal when it got down to that limit. It was just like, what the hell? And plus, not many people wanted to deal with that. So I was just like, okay, I'm gonna have to step in and take further action now. So I forgot the name of the crew, but they was like some It kind of reminded me of one of those crews that I faced back on 2015, and I just smoked them. But this was a long time ago. When I wasn't using an RSR, I was dominating everybody with like the F40, the Lotus Exige, or the Civic, or the Integra. I was mainly dominating people with cars like those. I said the Integra, that wasn't even in 2015. I meant to say the RSX. My bad. I wish Deep Speed had the Integra, honestly, because that's one of my favorite Hondas. Slash Acuras. Even though they're technically the same brand, but we're not going to get into that. Oh, that's right. That's the livery I gave Goose. That's the livery I gave Goose, though. Hey, I want to see what happened, though. I'm gonna let y'all see. We gonna skip that. See, this was the name I had before. When I was originally not in Speedshoc, though. This was the name I had originally. Coming. I'll be right back and we'll discuss more. I'll be right back. was the name that I originally had when I wasn't in Speedshoc though. This was like before coming up. But to me, Speedshoc is more. And I know what you're gonna think. Am I gonna say family? Yes. It is a family team. I consider them like my brothers. My sister's also a part of the team as well, so I consider them family. And plus, look, even these guys right here that you see that I'm racing with, I consider them family too. Cause they're really good. Peacemaker, Ethan, they're all really good competitors. But it would be interesting to have them on the team too, just to see what they can do. It would be very interesting to have them on the team. Oh, and also, there's another thing I want to point out before we continue on. With these guys, we have a championship coming up on the 27th. We're saying goodbye to this game soon. Well, not soon, but technically in a couple days. I haven't even pre-ordered Gran 7 yet. I might as well just wait till the game comes out because I don't have much on me as it is. I'll wait for the game to come out, and then you guys will see the much different side of Grayson on Gran 7. And here's what happened here. I died there. Oh, he died too. But I made a huge recovery. It was just some. When it comes to manufacturers, right? I didn't know which one I wanted to stay with. But it was just something about the GT by Citra that just. It's like one of the best Group 3s, even though in Gran Turismo 5 and 6 it was a race car, but it's not supposed to be classified as a GT3. I was kind of expecting. When it came to GT Sport, I was kind of expecting to see it to be a Group 1 or maybe a Group 2. I don't know. Even though Group 2 is technically Super GT. I made a huge recovery. And there was a lot of teams I signed with too. So the first manufacturer series that came up, I signed with Chevy. Then I went with Ferrari. I went with Citroen. I went with Ford. I went with Toyota. And then I went with Ferrari again. It was just a lot. I didn't know what team to stay with, but probably when Gran Turismo 7 comes, since the manufacturer series is a thing in that game, I'll give you guys the most faithful decision I can give. Which manufacturer I plan on staying with for that game. Because I'm gonna be real with you guys, it's kind of hard to choose the one manufacturer that you. Because I do love Ferrari a lot, but one to race for, it's like a lot to put on the table. And plus, it was kind of hard for me because at the time I was like, is this something I want to do? Is this something that I really want to, be the fastest driver in America? Because I was the fastest driver in America for McLaren. I was like top 30. And to this day, and I'm not even playing on a wheel, I've always been a controller guy. Like, not even kidding, I've always been a controller person. And that never changed. I've always been a controller person. But it would be nice though to get the feeling of a wheel. And just to see what I can do, because maybe I could probably set faster times on the wheel too. Maybe I can, maybe I can't. But I can't make any promises, like I said. Because my driving may be on point, but there's going to be some times I would screw up. to stop. I was mainly into like trains that were like in my area, mainly the MTA and the New Jersey Transit. I was mainly into trains like those, but it was all fun and games too, you know. I kind of just said, you know what, I think I'm gonna get into cars, and literally I got into cars by myself. I didn't need no help from my mom, I didn't need no help from my dad. I just went and did like, I didn't even do research. I just loved it. Even when I had Hot Wheels cars. And as I got older, I got to experience more. Went to a lot of car shows. See, you know, different modifications, different specs, how they perform, how they drive. It was just amazing. I remember when I was like 9, and I went to, every time I did good at school, like on a Wednesday, my dad would always take me to GameStop just to give me whatever game I want for my PS2 or my PS3. So I was like, I want MX vs ATV Untamed. I got the game. As soon as we came out the GameStop, what do I see? A black Lamborghini Gallardo LP. I was just hysterical about it. Like, I couldn't believe my eyes, because I was like, is that a Lamborghini? And the dude was like, yup, 550 horsepower. And he was like, are you into cars? And I shook my head, yes. And when I was little, I was kind of shy. I didn't really like talking to much people. Especially when I went to school, I didn't really like talking to much people, including the teachers. But when it came to the teachers, you know, I had to put my hand up either way. I don't know, that quarter always gets me every time. Ooh, we should add the Nürburgring for the final. Like, as a bonus to the championship. Like, that would be cool. Favorite food. I like about anything, but overall, spaghetti will always be my all-time favorite. Spaghetti will always be my favorite food. I like pizza too. Outside food is not really all that, because if you think about it, here's the thing, right? Not all the time. I want you guys to know something. Not all the time you should eat outside food. Because always eating outside food, that can kind of mess up your entire system. Like, literally. You don't want to just eat outside food. Even if you can't cook, just microwave or, like, get a toaster. Even if you can cook, just, like, cook something small. Don't try to cook something, like, don't try to cook something that you know you can't cook and then you just burn it. Because I know a lot of people tend to do that. Now, I'm going to give you guys a... let's go. We gotta scroll down. Let's go with the. Let's go with the 4-suit. Okay, family-wise, with brothers and sisters, it's my little brother and my oldest. So I'm the third. I only have 2 brothers right now. But you guys, of course, I consider y'all like family, so y'all in the family tree too. I have a lot of people on Instagram that I consider brothers and sisters, especially the ones that support me for a while. What race was this? Oh, this was me and Pin. This was me drinking Pink. I forgot how old this race was. Alright, so it was the 4C. So it's basically cars from different areas. This was another really good race. I forgot how old this was. This like, I believe it's not even that old. It was probably like 2020 or 2021. I keep on thinking to myself, is these races kind of old? Are they like that old? I don't know. have I helped anyone to become a successful driver? I helped numerous people. Especially when it came to this, or if it came to the crew soon or stuff like that. I helped a lot of people become successful drivers. Especially when it comes to taking corners and knowing your line. And that's another important thing about being a driver. You have to know your lines, because if you don't know your lines, where are you gonna go? And that's something that not many drivers do, especially if you're a driver with full experience and you don't tell the new driver how to do your lines and such. Then what are you doing? What's the point of helping that person if you can't tell them take the lines and stuff? Like that's something you must, especially in certain occasions. Hang on. Okay, so back again. Sorry about that for the. So a driver that would give me a run for their money. Oh, a driver that would give me a run. I would have to say, like, out of all the people that I've raced with, if we're going on games, if it's on here, Ethan's the one that will give me the run for my money. And this dude got better on a wheel. I don't know how long it's been, but like he's gotten way better on the wheel for like quite a while now, and it's honestly impressive. Like that dude can race. Like any car you give him, even if it's a Lexus, he makes that thing work. Like any car, like literally any car you give him, like any Group 3 car, it goes. But overall, he's the kind of person that would give me a run. I'm not going right now. Y'all can go. I ain't. But anyway, he would give me a run for my money. Especially if it's in a. I swear, every time with the depth chicane, I can never get that right. But I've gotten better. But anyhow, Ethan would give me a run for my money on T2 Sport. Now, if we're going on Crew 2, Neptuli, because she's a really fast driver, especially when it comes to Crew 2. Like, any street car you give her, but overall, I think the one car that she dominates in the most, I'm not too sure, but I think it's the Vanquish and the R8. You give her those two cars, easy on the money, easy on the money, easy on the money. Like, she snaps. Oh, I guess I can show you how to drag racing videos too. I did it by myself though. I ain't have nobody. I was basically using two controllers and I just like did it myself. Alright, now Need for Speed 2015, that's King's territory. That's my brother King C's territory. When it comes to drifting and racing, but I'm like the second best right behind him when it comes to racing. But I'm gonna get my flow back though. Cause I kinda took a break from 2015 for a while. Even though I was mainly drifting. Cause I love drifting on there. Even though I was mainly using the Huracan, the Murcielago, and the Skyline. But I didn't really like drifting like that. I didn't really like drifting like that, to be honest. I only did it just because everybody else did it, because it seemed fun. Now, Payback, that's a different story. I don't really know that much people, but the only one that I would have to say is either, because I remember not Cody Man, because Cody Man, he wasn't really on Payback like that. I would have to say damn, I can't get the name out. Now, when it came to Heat, it was like pretty much every man for himself. Okay, that Red Bull is too loud. The Mercedes ain't even that loud. If it came to Need for Speed Hot Pursuit, my brother Rasta and my brother Viper, they're the top two contenders when it comes to Hot Pursuit. They will give you a run for their money. So they'll give you a run for y'all's money. If y'all was doing like Hot Pursuit, Arms Race. But when it comes to normal racing, I get that. But I don't need meta cars to do it. Cause I know cars that I could use like I did back on the PS3 days. I didn't need a SL65. I didn't need a V12 Vantage and Super. Even when it came to exotics, I didn't need an ACR. However, the Sesto is the meta of Hot Pursuit and Arms Race. But you just gotta know how to use it though. And that's all it came down to. Like, you gotta know how to use the Sesto, especially doing the Sesto ways. And the Sesto tricks. Favorite car? My favorite car overall is the Ferrari F50 GT. And why do I love the Ferrari F50 GT? Because it's just one of those cars that's like, you know, built for racing, but sadly it couldn't get the opportunity to finish. It was kind of like with the Jaguar XJ13 when that, because believe it or not, Dash and Forza, you guys should go get that from the car pass if you don't have it, but anyway. That was the one car. The F50 GT is the same way like the XJ13. Even though that thing couldn't even race at the time. I wish I could gotten to see that car race, but sadly it couldn't. I think it was something to do to. I'm not too sure, but I could be wrong though. You guys can clarify me. I think it was due to either engine failure or the fact that thing, the fact that the car itself probably had too much horsepower and it just couldn't race in that competition. But I don't just love the F50 GT just because it's like a race car. It's just like I feel like a lot of Ferraris speak to me. Not just the. It's not just the F50 GT that speaks to me. The F50 GT is not just the one car that speaks to me. The F50 does, the Testarossa does, the GTO, the GT4 Lusso, the Portofino, California, the 365, the 512, the 575M. I know all the old Ferraris, included to the newer ones now. But the only ones that I never liked was I didn't like how the 612 scat, I think that's what they call that. I don't know how to pronounce the G. Scatagoli or something like that. That thing looked ugly. And I think it was just because of the tail lights and the headlights. Like that thing just looked ugly. That's probably the one Ferrari that I just don't like. But overall, I love Ferrari for many. Not just the cars. The fact that Enzo Ferrari himself built, not even just build, had a lot of people to help him build all the Ferraris we have today and not the ones that catch on fire. Because I had a lot of people, because I always said I love Ferrari, and every time we come up with a car topic, it would always be that one dummy that always says, hey, you like that company just because they catch us on fire. I'd be like, shut up. And that's not funny. Yes, a lot of Ferraris tend to catch on fire, but you shouldn't laugh about it. You sound like an idiot. Literally. Every time somebody makes a comment about a Ferrari on fire, I just be ready to curse somebody out, because I hate that. If you're not gonna be on a topic of cars, but you're just gonna make jokes about it just because it got on fire and it couldn't really perform well, then you shouldn't be a car person in the car community if you're just gonna talk stuff, you know? What do I love about myself? The fact that I'm always positive. The fact that I'm always supporting others. I'm always being nice to people, always showing good sportsmanship. Because here's the thing. We need to be positive in this world. Not all the time. We need to be negative towards each other. Because it's always, oh, I hate you. I'm better than you. I can do so much better than you. I can show that I can beat you one-on-one. I don't like those kind of people. Especially on games, but you know, y'all already know how that is on racing games nowadays. But it's still gonna happen either way. It happens all the time, especially on here. When it comes to GT Sport, when it comes to Forza, when it comes to Crew 2, when it comes to Drive Club, even though Drive Club servers are down, it's on every racing game. You can never have fun without that one dude that's just like, okay, I can do better than you. I can do so much better than you. I can set faster times. I can be faster than you. You will never be on my level. You'll never be in my territory. Literally, that's how every driver is. And it sickens me. Because not all the time we gotta be negative and, you know. Because there's the old saying, you win some, you lose some. You're not gonna win all the time, yeah. But at least just stick together. Don't be negative toward each other. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win. You're gonna win a couple, but you may not win a lot. I mean, look at me. I may not win a lot all the time, but I could always improve and always find a way to get back up to the top. Cause I never lost it. You gotta show. You gotta practice. Here's the thing. Practice makes perfect, and the more you practice, the more that you will improve, the more that you will know your lines, and the more that you will become a better driver. That's all it is. Don't be toxic. Because there's no need for being toxic, especially when it comes to racing. Even if you make one simple mistake, it's okay. You don't gotta be toxic towards each other. Just enjoy the game. Have fun. If that person wins, give him a GG or give him a congrats. But if that person slams you into the wall, if they do it on purpose, then you have a right to be upset about it. Because I've been in multiple encounters. Sorry. I've been in multiple encounters where drivers tend to, like, you know, send you into the wall. They tend to push you off or get in the way of you. But we just ignore that though, because that's none of our business. Wait, this thing. Oh yeah, both of them have 6 gears. How long have I been playing Forza? Well, when I was like little, it was mainly Gran Turismo and Need for Speed. When I turned like 10, the first Forza I played was literally like Motorsport 3 and Motorsport 4. But I kind of stopped because I was mainly like, because Gran Turismo is like the best game in my opinion, especially when it came to racing. But I wasn't really like too serious about Forza like that. However, now when it comes to Horizon 5 and Motorsport 7, I was about to say Motorsport 4. When it comes to Horizon 5, Horizon 4, Motorsport 7, and well, pretty much Horizon 3, Horizon 4, Horizon 5, Motorsport 7 now. I can't really say Motorsport 6 because Motorsport 6 I barely even played it. Motorsport 7 I still have to finish up. But Horizon 3, Horizon 4, Horizon 5, those games were fun. Especially racing on Blizzard Mountain, the Hot Wheels expansion. Doing races on those were fun as hell. Now with Horizon 4, when it came to Fortune Island and the Legos was my shit. The Legos was my area that I dominated. Even when it came to street racing, that was mine. However, off-road and cross-country, it was somewhat my strong suit, but I didn't really like put as much effort. Which didn't make sense to me was the fact that the Shelby Cobra Daytona was like one of the busted cars. That was the meta of B-Class dirt. The TZ2 was the meta of A-Class dirt. The GT40 was the A-Class meta of racing. Road racing. Now, when it comes to S2, the meta is the pre-order cars. The Porsche 911 GT, the McLaren pre-order. Them things were retarded when it came to S2 racing. Now, if X-Class was a thing, if I had to put money on it, the CLK GTR, the CCGT, and maybe the Lotus Elise GT1, them things would have been the meta of X-Class. Now in Horizon 5, it don't matter which car's meta. Because it don't matter how much you put towards the table, if you think about it. Now if I would have put money on it, because I already know right now that Hoonigan RS 200 is like the meta of S2 off-road racing and S1 off-road. The 911 GT1 Straps version, that thing is the meta of off-road racing apparently in S2, which is kind of silly because usually you don't race supercars and hypercars and off-road. But it was kind of funny to watch because taking a hypercar off road and making that car work. Cause I remember I suck at driving's tune for the Enzo, cause it's a S1. I brought that back for Horizon 5 as well. I borrowed his tune, dude. Fastlane, Don Juan song and Fastlane. Those are my top 3 people that I would love to come across and race on Forza one day. But I don't think, if I had to put money on it, I would love to race Fastlane and maybe probably win. I would love to race him. I have raced against Super GT and I won a couple races. But this was when like Gran Turismo Sport was first starting out. Oh yeah, we were racing N300s with this one. He wanted to race Tune, but my Yaris is freaking cracked in N3. And I love this thing because the way how this thing moves and it's 4-wheel drive and didn't even spin out. This thing is goated. My favorite Group 3 car. If we're going like overall Group 3 favorite, the Citroen still holds a special place in my heart because nostalgia for Gran Turismo 5 and 6, even when I first got it, from completing the Dream Car Championship. Yeah, it wasn't. I don't think it was a Dream. I think it was a Dream Car Championship. I don't know. But that was my car that I love to race, even though I wasn't race car. But overall, the Citroen is my go-to race car for Group 3s. If we had to go favorite Group 1 cars, though, the R92 is one of my favorite. But I'm definitely looking forward to this championship in like a couple days. It is currently the 22nd. The championship is on the 27th. But I'm not too sure if we're still gonna set. I am pretty sure we're still gonna set this up, but I just want to be sure if we'll be ready to go. Cause I already practiced on many tracks. I practiced with the Corvette, I practiced with the Miata, I practiced with the Group 3s, and I practiced with the Group 1s. And the Group 4s at Alscase, the village. Jesus Christ, I'll be that simple. Oh, yeah, you can tell his Civic wasn't even tuned. I didn't even notice that. What do you love most, racing or photos? Overall racing, but I do like taking photos. But overall, I like racing a lot, but photos I love doing the most too. But as you can see, overall, I do love taking photos, especially with other people, especially around the holidays. Like all of this, I did. Christmas was to me, Christmas is like the best time of the year. Even though sadly we didn't get any snow. And believe it or not, this is gonna shock you guys. I never had hot chocolate before. Like, not even kidding. I never had hot chocolate before. I've always had like gingerbread cookies. I've always done gingerbread houses. It was just, pretty cool. But overall, I love doing holiday photos, especially around my spare time. I was like even this year, for 2022, I'm gonna be on the money. I'm gonna be on the money for Easter. I'm gonna be on the money for summer. It's just that January and February was looking quite slow, but March, Y'all gonna see what I have stored. Cause your boy knows how to do photography perfectly well. But yeah, photos, I can do those, especially because here's the thing, right? Including Halloween photos. I can't really say this is spooky because I didn't really try my best with that effect. But this, I kind of scared myself one night. I woke up, like, I'm not even kidding. I woke up, right? It was like 2 in the morning and it was Halloween. My dad was still playing music. I woke up, but it wasn't that loud. I woke up and I'm like, what is that on my TV? And I was like, oh, that's the Tomahawk X that I did. And that effect to this day, I don't know how I pulled that off. It's a lot of. Here's the thing, right? I know I say here's the thing a lot. I really do. When it comes to scapes on Gran Turismo Sport, I take my time out and do a lot of different effects. It could be green, it could be purple, it could be any color. Even on Halloween, I could try to make photos scary. I tend to make photos scary. And if I have photos saved, that I could carry over. I could carry over because sometimes I don't really be like paying attention to how I do the effects, but I do have video clips of how I do the effects now. So that way when I go to Gran Turismo 7, then I could work on the because there's a lot of different cars that I'm gonna be working on. Not just the ones that are in sport, but the ones that are in GT7. I'm gonna try to make the F430 scary. I'm gonna make the F1 GTR scary. I'm gonna make the CLK GTR scary. You guys are gonna be very surprised. Oh, and I also did this too. I didn't make the liveries though. If I was a full-on artist, I can make liveries, but I make basics. I'm not like on the intermediate professional amateur level. I'm nowhere near that base. I can try to be, yeah, but it's gonna take some time before I do all that. Especially when it comes down to, getting your lines and trying to position that certain decal. Yeah. These are all Halloween photos y'all see here. That's a C2, La Ferrari, and a Chaparral 2 times Vision. And I did a tribute to Kobe. Ferraris. Oh yeah, that's when I signed with Ferrari when I was on Factor Series. And I guess that's about it. Oh yeah, I went vertical for the first time. Like literally that was like one of the first vertical photos. Cause that's what I do now. And that's something I learned with most photographers. Mainly people go vertical. I know there's a lot of virtual photographers that go horizontal. That's what I realized. A lot of people tend to go I can't even speak, and I'm speaking way too fast. Let me take my time. A lot of people tend to go horizontal, then going vertical. But if you want like a lot of like effort, you could really like put in a lot of work. So I'm gonna show you guys like a basic. So we're not gonna go like this. We're gonna go by all scenes because you could literally get a feel of what to explore and what to see. So I'm gonna go to New Zealand, right? We're gonna go to this road right here. So that you guys can see. So we're gonna go with Dodge. We're gonna go with this Hellcat. We're gonna zoom in, right? Don't mind the Instagram. We're gonna zoom in, have the headlights. And however y'all wanna do the aspect, you can do it like this or do it like that. However y'all wanna do it, up to y'all. Have the panning shots on as well. Have your speed all the way up to 124. You could have your Hellcat facing any car really. You have your car facing that way, or you can have it facing this way. So I have it facing this way. And then the effects. I mostly go with the dazzling effect because it makes it more interesting and makes it more realistic. I set it to none, and then I do the background. Then this is where we change it up. We change the effect sometime. So I'm gonna go with shadow boost, and then we're gonna lower the brightness down to at least a 130. Contrast, we at least bump that up to 250. This we leave alone, and then this. Gonna bring this like right here. Glare to at least 50. You don't want to put too much glare. And as soon as we let this thing render, let it go, and voila. And that's how you get a perfect shot. Here's the thing. When it comes to certain places, you always want to find the best one. Go to all scenes. You go to Brunei, France, go to Germany, to Ireland, to Italy, Japan, go to Malaysia, Zealand, Switzerland, all the countries you see there. Go to any one of those. You can put as much time, as much work, much as you want to put to the table. And also here's my, I know I gotta put more miles and stuff. You see, I'm trying to think of more questions. Do I have a favorite F1 driver? Well, I'm gonna be a bit biased because I was a Lewis Hamilton fan. I was. I'm not even tired, that's the thing. I was tired last night when I came in, but I'm a Lewis Hamilton fan. But I was actually quite happy that Verstappen won. Even though he did have the better compounder and the better, yeah, he did have the better compound. He had the better strategy, and he beat Lewis. But overall, it was a really good champion. It was a really good championship to watch. But I can't wait for this year because all the new F1 cars, they look neat. Like they are on the money of F1 this year. Looks dope. They all look cool. Like it's just amazing how you can put as much money, not even much money, but like the FIA regulations and making it more interesting, and plus having new drivers joining F1 is a lot more interesting as it may seem. However, I was kind of expecting Red Bull to change theirs, but they're still sticking with the same livery, which is like kind of basic. But let me see. Where do I see myself in a couple years? Working a lot more, having my own place, um, having a lot of cars too, because I want to work on a mansion, but to get to that goal, that's gonna take like 20 to 30, not even that, probably 20, 30, or 40 years. Because working two jobs and one job that pays you the most, it would take a lot of time, and plus, not to mention a lot of rent that I would have to pay, light bills, probably the water bill and stuff like that. In a mansion, because in a mansion it's a lot. It's a lot to a mansion compared to an apartment, and just a normal house. I think it's a lot to it than you may expect. And also, I'll give you guys some car sounds to hear. Let's see. What was the best sounding car that I remember? That's right. Alright, sit back. I'm gonna be quiet. I'm gonna let y'all hear this. To me, that's like the best sounding, like the best startup. But another group too that really takes it all. Come on, let's be real. Let's all be real. The Exanabi takes it too. And the fact that it sounds exactly like the one in Gran Turismo 5 amazes me. And now, I'll give you guys the Lexus. Overall, I still say the Nissan gets it. But then again, I know the Honda's probably going to come back with a big notch. Yeah. My favorite Gran Turismo game over the years. Gran Turismo 3. That was the last year. I was on that game non-stop. Like, I was back to back on that compared to my PS4 and my Xbox One. I was back to back on numerous of it. But, yeah, Gran Turismo 3 will have to be the best game for me throughout the years. Because I finally accomplished the one thing. I didn't beat the game though. I still have to finish it. I finally got my Toyota GT1. That was the one car that I needed just to complete. But I know once I finish all the endurance races and everything, that's when we're gonna go into like the F1 stuff. And the F1s, or Gran Turismo 3 and 4, that's gonna be like the most challenging for me. Because the AI for Gran Turismo 4 when it comes to the F1 championship, they are no joke. And however, you can't change the tires or anything. You're stuck with whatever fuel. You're stuck with a lot of fuel and you're stuck with the tire compound that you have to stick with. So there's no super hards or mediums like they were for like, you know, the race cars. I know I don't have that many replays. I have a lot of daily race replays, but... Oh yeah, let me give you guys this one, because this is when I won at, Tsukuba. So, let me see. Yeah. So overall, yeah, Gran Turismo 3 will always be the best one. But if I had to rank all the Gran Turismo games, number 1 would be Gran Turismo 3, number 2 would be Gran Turismo 4, number 3 would be Gran Turismo 2, number 4 would be 5, 5 would be 5 Prologue, number 6 would be Gran Turismo 6, number 7 would be obviously this. But Gran Turismo 7, that'll probably be 8, but I know I'm gonna switch the numbers around eventually. I'm gonna switch the numbers around. That's your boy in first. Yeah, this was when like that. This was when WRX was the meta of the sports. And yes, I did have a Team SmackDown livery. And the race is underway. What was my favorite moment of Gran Turismo 3? If you had to finish it. My favorite moment would have to be, you know, unlocking all the tracks. It was doing all the time trials that I beat Kazunari Yamauchi. because he set a time with the RGT on complex string. And if you were to beat all the time trials, you would get the Panos Esperante GTR. And that thing was retarded fully upgraded. Having about 1,000 horsepower, just like dominating the Viper. Let's be real though, the Light to Win championship didn't make any sense. It's a championship, that was a race. To me, that race didn't make any sense, because the opponents were the Toyota GT1, the Mazda 787B, and the Panos Esperante. The only two JGTC cars were the Castrol Tom Super and the Honda Arta NSX. The normal cars were the Viper, Skyline, the TVR Siberius V12, the Lotus S-Spirit, the Toyota Supra RZ, and the Pagani Zonda. However, what was stupid about Gran Turismo 3 with that race was the fact that the Zonda would always be last, because that thing had a stage 4 turbo kit. Mind you, that thing should have not had that turbo kit, and that thing was only doing about 150. It was only doing 150 on that race, and I was just like, yeah, that's something they have to fix. But if that's a race that they're gonna bring back for Gran Turismo 7, they better do it right. Before I go any further with the races and everything, because that's something I want to discuss with you guys. Certain races they have to do right, not just like the win, because that race didn't make any sense for numerous games. For 3, 4, 5, and 6, it didn't make any sense, right? What didn't make any sense was the fact that Viper was like the top competitor to the GT1, and the GT1 was also the second fastest. The Panos Esperante was the third fastest, but the Skyline was the only one that kept up with it. They share the same top speed as well, about 230. The GT1 did about like 245. The Viper did about 260, but that thing fully upgraded, that thing could do about almost 300. That thing is retarded. Even when the AI was using it, it was just dumb. But don't put that thing in first place. Because even if you would have put the Castle Tom Super in second and the Arta in third, while they're pulling away, the Viper would just slowly come up. If the GT1 was in 6th, right? And that's like slowly getting up there, passing everybody. And the Viper is like slowly catching up to it. That GT1's kind of screwed. The GT1 barely has time to get past the first lap. Now with Gran Turismo 4, right? Gillett Vertigo. That should have not been in the Light to Win. The GT should have not been in the Light to Win. The Camaro LM, that should have not been in the Light to Win competition as well. Overall, them things should have not been in the competition. Now, yes, it's understandable if it's the CLK and R390, because the CLK can compete with the R390 in the race. It just didn't make sense at the fact that, you know, that car, the Gillett is always the one car that starts first but always finishes last. I was gonna use that thing from when I did the endurance race on Suzuka, but something told me nope, take the BMW McLaren F1, because that thing could put up a fight against the Moto Pitwork Z and 2000 Ford Falcon. Now with Gran Turismo 5, it did make sense because it was basically all the race cars together. However, I find it pretty stupid because the Suzuki Escudo and the Toyota 7 were there. That was stupid. I hate the delay time. Now, with Gran Turismo 6, race cars versus hypercars, and an old school. So, Oldsmobile Tornado, Red Devil Camaro, tuners, faster than race cars. However, when it came to Indianapolis, or pretty much the Indy 500, it didn't make sense. Well, it didn't make sense that the race cars were faster than the normal cars because the normal cars couldn't really corner that fast. What didn't make sense was Route 7 and Route X. And plus, what was stupid was the fact that they added the Suzuki Escudo along with the 2011 Monster Pikes Peak, which is a successor to the Suzuki. That didn't make any sense to me. That's why I was just like, wait a minute. And that's why I was like, oh, now I see why the race cars are more fast. No, wait, not the race cars. Now I see why the normal cars are more faster than the race cars. And plus, it didn't even matter which car you took to the competition. If you take a race car, or even a fully upgraded Viper ACR or a fully upgraded Bugatti Veyron, that thing pushed. Like, literally, it's just ridiculous to see the most OP car dominate the competition. Now, the Super License, that was a run for money. Because if you think about it overall, there was no way that the AI were moving as faster than I was. Because I remember doing the Super GT at Brands Hatch, which was the Grand Prix circuit. They were moving fast as hell, and I was just like, oh no. And I was like, is it me or am I driving slow? And then I'm like, so this is what it has to be. I have to be fully upgraded just to work this. I did a couple upgrades and I did my own tuning just so that I could be on the same pace. The Le Mans was easy, even though I was a little disappointed at the fact that they were only 30-minute races. They weren't an hour, they weren't 2 hours, they weren't 24 hours. The same with the Nürburgring Challenge, that was only 25 minutes. I was like, what is this? Are you kidding me? I was disappointed, dude. I was just disappointed at the fact that none of the races in GT6 for the International A or just anything like that, it was just like, what the fuck? I was just so mad. I enjoyed the game though, but I was just mad at the fact that none of the races were like, you know, on the money. But overall, with Gran Turismo 7 coming out in like a couple weeks, I can't wait to see what we'll have more on the table. What's up, Big Blade? How you doing, bro? It was just like, this is what I want to see, because we already know, we already spotted. Yeah, great word. We already spotted the Plymouth Superbird. We already spotted the Chaparral 2J. We already spotted the Alfa Romeo HC. We spotted the 370Z. We spotted the Murcielago. Carrera GT. Back mono. That's good. It's a lot of different cars. It's over 400 cars as of right now. But I know there's going to be a lot more to it than that. There's gonna be a lot more that we could see. But this is what I want to see. If they bring it to Group 1, I would be so happy. I need the Toyota GT1 back. That is like my go-to race car for Group 1. If they bring that back, I'll be so complete. Like, that'll be the only car that I'm racing. Just so y'all see, nothing happened. Oh, whoa! What did she say? And I'm sorry for your loss, bro. I'm sorry. What did she say? Oh my. What did she tell me, but what did she say that was so messed up? Dang, Russ, it took that turn so wide. If it's personal, you know, you don't have to explain it, but if you wanna talk about it on Instagram, you can just send it to me. That's honestly messed up. I'm sorry, bro. Because I hate my ex when I hate. Yeah, I hate that too. If somebody were to talk about one of my dead family members, but none of mine are like. Everybody's still here, so you know. Not trying to sound like an idiot or anything like that. If any of them were to die and somebody were to try to bring that up, I'm killing somebody. I'm sorry, because I don't play when it comes to my family.